Hello. I'd like to talk about the care and concern of others. And this is an awakening level insight. And I would say that awakening and awakened states are very powerful, but also very disruptive. Awakening is the place where we make spiritual modifications to the code of the matrix, but ultimately life must be lived in a matrix of meaning. So be careful, where with great power comes great responsibility, right, Spider-Man? So the care and concern of others, what I mean by this is that, and I hope to speak to something that our body knows. You've heard the phrase, the body keeps the score, right? The body knows things innately. And this is one of those things that I think, I'm using words here to describe it, but I think my body knows this. And I think all of our bodies really know it, whether or not our minds are like trying to resist it or grind it. Here it is. Each of us is an immense repository of care and concern from others, from group, from tribe. It could be parents, it could be family. There's a history of care. We were all born into systems of care. And regardless of what we do or where we go in our lives, we are essentially taking the repository of immense care and concern that we are in to these various arenas and aspects and venues of life. We have a veil, an egoic veil that, well, I'm me, I'm a separate individual. This is, a lot of people rail against this, say it's just all illusory and that's just the ego and whatever. And I'm here to tell you that the ego is the vessel that we inhabit as we navigate these vast seas of forces, social forces, spiritual forces, existential forces, political forces that we are all necessarily navigating as human beings. So there is a time when we want to understand the ego and work on our egoic vessel and our individual inhabiting of self, but ultimately we got this boat from somewhere. This boat was given to us, shaped for us, and yes, we can tell the story on nobody gave me this self, I made it. I scraped it out of the bottom of the barrel myself with my skin of my teeth and my own blood, sweat, and tears. And that is absolutely true. Like we definitely have agency and will in how we shape self, but ultimately our lives and everything we have was given to us. There is an aspect that we were all helpless children, helpless infants and helpless children at some point in time. And you could say, well, my parents didn't do anything for me and they fucked me up and they traumatized me. And it's like, yes, some of our childhoods were less than ideal. But if you're watching this, that means you survived. Someone, maybe in spite of your family of origin, but someone somewhere made it so you could sit here in relative health and sanity and watch this message. Whatever those systems of care were, and there isn't just one, it's a nebulous network of care and concern that we embody in ourselves. And I will just tell you that in my life, I have experienced this sticky web of care and concern from others, sometimes as a bondage, as something that I've wanted to get away from. I've wanted to cut ties. I'm going no contact. I'm not talking with you anymore. Go away. I'm disowning you. Like, I don't want to even acknowledge that you have any connection or have ever had any connection or influence or shaping in my life. I'm cutting you off. That's definitely a thing that we do and go through. And if you're there in that phase, I honor that. I think we all have to go through these tough, this is part of like the dark night of awakening to our interconnectedness. At other times, strangely, when I am just lost and feel like I'm completely abandoned and that I'm irredeemable and there's nothing that can save me or love or possibly love me or possibly even conceive of me as being loved or lovable, then strangely, it is that those connections, the care and concern of others, that while once seemed like a chains of bondage, now becomes a lifeline, now becomes a ray of hope. And I'm just telling you, it's weird. It's weird how we experience our interconnectedness. And I pray and honor and wish you and me and all of us compassion and insight and hope and patience and the willingness to show up in practice as these insights unfold into what I feel like can be a more spacious, expansive, groundless ground in which to be, in which to be influenced and to influence self, mind, and world. So wherever we go, wherever we take the energies and investments of the care and concern for others, let us practice with ethics. Let us show up and try to not harm. Let's try to nurture. Let's try to challenge systems of exploitation and try to practice more sustainable, caring, like extending the network of healthy care and nurturing care to self, mind, and world as we perceive and experience it.